Hartford tenants across Connecticut have complained of worsening conditions this winter and reported no heat in some cases in their homes.
Always serious during the winter. Senator Marilyn Moore, the chair of Connecticut's Housing Committee, joins us now to talk about expanding renters' rights here in the state. Senator Moore, thank you for joining us. So we've heard about these apartments across Connecticut that don't have heating. They have other issues as well, but the real commonality here seems to be renters feeling unheard, like they have no control over their own living situation. What have you heard from constituents about the renting process in Connecticut or the reporting process for problems?
Well, you know, we enacted legislation that communities with 25,000 or more should have a fair rent commission. Some of those already had that legislation on the books, but had not been active. Here in Bridgeport, where I live, we've now enacted one about a month ago. And I'll be meeting in a roundtable discussion with some of those commissions to hear what are they dealing with, what are some of the commonality of problems, and how do we begin to address them.
And so the legislature passed a major housing bill that updated a lot of renters' rights this past session. What are some of the things that you hope tenants know, especially if they find themselves in a situation where they don't have heat?
Well, you know, if they don't have heat and it's a health problem, they should be contacting the state of Connecticut for the Department of Public Health to let them know there's a problem, or locally first, and then moving on to the Department of Public Health. Their health department in each town should be addressing those issues. Many times it creates another health problem when people don't have heat or hot water, especially in this cold weather that we're experiencing.
So city and town enforcement seems to be a big deal, and the legislature has tried to give them some teeth to keep landlords accountable. Can you talk to us about that?
Yeah, I have heard from several communities that there are not enough people in housing code enforcement, and that's where some of it lies for responsibility, that they haven't hired enough. There are not enough trained housing code enforcement, so that's something that each municipality should look at. But as we get into the session and we start to do some of these hearings, some of those things will come up and people will come to us and give us their thoughts, what they're experiencing, and that's when we begin to address how do we fix this problem that we're experiencing.
Interesting. All right, so where do you hope renters' rights and housing accountability go this upcoming session? Anything being talked about already?
Well, I have just this, and this is just in conversation. Just cause evictions has come up from several organizations, and the rent commissions as a way to address that. So I do have that on my radar to look at just cause evictions, meaning that you must disclose why you're asking someone to leave the premise. I think that's really important because that leads into homelessness, which leads into another problem.
One of the other issues that people have faced, quickly here because we only have a few seconds left, but what about the issue of retaliation for renters who speak up?
Well, that's why the Fair Rent Commissions work, because you cannot retaliate and they can be fined. And just because you go to a rent commission to complain, once you file that complaint, they can't retaliate. And that's why it's important for people to file the complaint and not keep it to themselves, but go to the commissions to talk about what they're experiencing.
All right. Well, thank you. Senator Moore, we appreciate your time with us today.